Hello, my name is Peter Atkinson. I'm pastor at Riverside, Albert, and I have a thought for you. Mother's Day has just passed. I was reading Acts, my daily Bible reading, and I read this Acts 6, verse 1 to 5, and you probably, as soon as I start, you'll know what I'm reading. Now at that time, while the disciples were increasing in number, a complaint arose on the part of the Hellenistic Jews against the native Hebrews, because their widows were being overlooked in the daily serving of food. So the 12 summoned the congregation of the disciples and said, "It is not desirable for us to neglect the word of God in order to serve tables. Therefore, brethren, select from among you 7 men of good reputation, full of the Spirit and of wisdom, who we can put in charge of this task. And we will devote ourselves to prayer and to the ministry of the word." And the statement found approval in the whole congregation, and they chose Stephen. And I won't continue to read those other names, which I will fumble up. But you know who it was. The first disciples were chosen. Now, you may know immediately thought of this, but the disciples, this new deacon, these men probably didn't serve tables either. They probably delegated that responsibility, and it probably ended up being mostly handled by women of the church. But they didn't get any credit in this verse. We go on to read that Stephen did all these wonderful things, and that's the way it is. A lot of times, wonderful people do wonderful things, and sometimes they get credit for the things that other people do. Not to diminish what Stephen did or the other disciples, the other who were called deacons, not to diminish any part of what they did. But they probably didn't do the waiting on tables. They didn't do the hard work. That was probably women. And I thought of that as I was thinking of Mother's Day. There's lots of times that we do things for others that we get no credit for. Sometimes those people, some other person is happy to take all that credit and leave us with none. And that, if that leaves a knot in your stomach or a bit of anger, that's something you need to deal with. If you have to have the credit, it's called getting my ego stroked. And that's not a good thing for a Christian. You need to put it in God's hands and say, "Look, I'm doing this. It's up to you, Lord. If you want me to get the credit, you arrange that. If not, I'm happy to do it without any credit." I saw something. Somebody said, a small truth that I never thought of, but he said, if you can actually be a person who will take responsibility for your actions and don't have to have somebody demand that you do this, if you just happen to be that person, a good test is if when you go to the supermarket, you take your shopping cart and put it in the corral or take it back to the store. You don't leave it coasting around for the wind to take and smash into somebody's car. Now, there's nobody that's going to be there to police that. If you leave your shopping cart and get in your car and leave, no one's going to punish you. But you must recognize that you're not a person who can be relied upon without somebody forcing you to do it. And that's the way this is. If you can be the person that can be relied on to do the job without demanding to have credit, God is happy about that. You've made God smile. If you can just do what's needed, humbly say, "Lord, it's up to you to fix this, and give me the credit if it's due." So that's my thought.